What's up, everybody? So, about a month ago, August 18th, at least at the article that I am looking at, it was stated that 90% of game developers are already using AI in workflows, according to the new Google Cloud research. So, basically, they did a study at DevCom Developers Conference, which is Europe's biggest game development event. And it kind of came out that most of these game developers are using AI in some sort of way when they are making video games. Now, when it comes to AI, especially generative AI, I am very, like, if I had to choose black or white, I'm like, no bueno, right? For me, I think AI is just like, so, technology tools, right? Could be a good thing. I'm sure AI is being used in ways that I fully don't understand or haven't looked into that are very positive for society. But so much of America, which is where I'm from, right, is, run by corporations and executives and, the people at the top, the 1%. And so it is a lot of like, all right, how do we use this to make line go up? We want more money. I need another yacht or a car or whatever. And so with stuff like that, it's like, okay, well, I don't think we should incorporate AI because then it's just going to lead to more layoffs and just more negative things happening, right? So some things, if you don't know about the negative sides of AI, right, it says that, using something like ChatGPT uses a lot of water. I've seen videos of like, because they need servers for AI, and so they build these buildings that are basically giant servers outside neighborhoods, and they're like, cool, our electricity bill just tripled and they want us to pay for their building. People in the same videos that live near these buildings are like, hey, this building is like, kind of like making this noise all day and night, and it is like, driving us crazy essentially.
His Aurora backyard, John Mars can see the massive data centers along Deal Road and hear them as well.
Like rushing traffic. If you were to go stand out on the interstate at rush hour when cars were moving, constant.
Also with Gen AI, I don't think it's helping with, people in general or like the kids. Actually, like the attention spans are already bad apparently from another, what's it called? What's the word I'm looking for? Like they did research, they did a report, and yeah, scrolling, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, like does mess with your ability to remember things, your cognitive functions. And so, adding AI on top of that, especially like, ChatGPT, where you're like, give me the answer, basically, whether it's right or wrong, I feel like that's only going to be more of a detriment to the youth, right? And it's like, all right, well, if they're already cooked with stuff like TikTok and that, I don't think having a computer just give them answers is gonna do any better. I always make the joke that everything's getting real Wall-E, like the animated movie where everything's just kind of given to them and they're all fat. I think things are kind of going that way when it comes to Gen AI. In the art space, right, you can type in something. I've used it before. I'm not gonna sound like I'm above using AI or having used it before. Basically what it does is like, kind of combs through the internet, grabs things that are similar to what you've asked for, kind of like puts them together and goes like, here you go. So essentially it is like stealing other people's art, kind of Frankensteining them and then giving it over to you. And so it's like, well, I don't want to take away like stuff from artists and pretend like I'm an artist myself if I just go like, give me like Spider-Man fighting Batman or what, you know what I'm saying? And it's crazy that like some people will be like, no, I made this because I typed it in and the computer gave it to me. Like, I am an artist. It's like, no, you're not. You see companies and corporations just using AI more in like advertising and stuff like that. And so just like overall, I'm just like, I feel like AI, just like so many other things, is just going to be used in the wrong way. And I have a fear of it, right? And so bringing it back to the gaming space, I feel like, well, I'm not surprised by like most companies using AI, right? We've already caught a couple of companies. I think of like Expedition 33, that team. Love that game, but I guess on some like the newspapers and like some of the background art or whatever, or like, like paintings and stuff like that, when you're like walking through the environments, was like AI, and they're like, oh, we left it in. And there was like another company who I can't think off the top of my head who also got caught for like, you know, background, you know, art, like, oh, you passed a little poster, and it was like actually AI. So I think a lot of companies are going to use AI, and as long as they don't get caught, they're not going to say anything. And I think when they will get caught, they'll be like, oops, and then they'll, you know, do something else about it. But to me, it isn't a surprise that companies are using AI, because I know people in tech, and they're like, the higher ups, my bosses are telling me to incorporate AI in any way, shape, or form. They're like, just, I have a friend who's literally like, their boss was like, just put AI into your daily use. We don't care how you do it, just like incorporate AI somehow. So when it's like 90% of, you know, game developers are using AI, I'm like, of course, because the people at the top, you know, AI is the new you know, buzzword, right? And so of course they're probably getting the same directives of like, you know, take AI and just like put it into your daily workflow, and then like, you know, just get it in there and show, you know, the stockholders and everything how we're using AI. In a better world, I wouldn't mind if AI is being used in video games in the sense of things, you know, making smaller workflows like easier, like they're saying that they're doing. So like, let's say you're an environmental artist, right? And you're like, okay, I really want to work on this castle that I'm developing, but I gotta put these random trees and these random rocks in places. And you could just use some sort of AI system and be like, hey, scan the land that's already been made and just find like proper places for these normal trees and rocks to be put, and the AI does it for you. I wouldn't mind that. The problem, again, living in capitalist America, is that you do that and you're like, hey boss, I'm also working on this castle, look, I did it all by hand, yada yada. And they'll be like, oh, you put the trees and the rocks by using AI? And then they'd sooner fire that person and then use AI to do the trees and the rocks, and then also, you know, the castle that I made up, rather than just finding smaller ways for AI to make the workflow a little faster and then a little more efficient. And that way we can get more cooler stuff, and maybe they can focus on things like, okay, cool, we got a lot of stuff out of the way, and now we can do like a new game plus on launch, or, you know, something like that. So that's why I'm just like, I don't want AI in games space, because it's already like toxic as it is, because like, oh, you did well, like this game was good, people liked it, but it didn't sell, we're gonna fire everyone in the team. Oh, this game didn't do good, we're gonna fire everyone in the team. So like, you get Gen AI in there, and now it's just like, okay, cool, we did good, and you know, now AI is good enough to like do this job, we're just gonna fire these people on the team and then just use AI instead. So keeping things very black and white, I just feel like the more they incorporate AI, the more that the higher ups have a reason to just be like, how can we make the line go up, fire people, and then use AI instead of just hiring more people, or like using, you know, human art and like hard work to get things done. When I hear that most of these companies are using AI, I'm like, of course, but I don't, this is, you know, I don't, X-Men, I don't want your future, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm just like, I don't want AI in my stuff, right? There's already so much of the controversy with the DLSS 5 of like, hey, look at this game we made, it's really cool, right? What if we put the AI filter on top of it? It made everything look even worse. I didn't like the DLSS 5. If you like that, I mean, I don't get what you're saying, but yeah, that's just me. So yeah, I'm worried that AI is just gonna take jobs and make everything harder in the gaming space. And you know, with them taking all the RAM, things are already going up, and prices of everything is already going up. So it's just like, I don't need things to be harder. I want gaming to be more affordable for everyone, and I want to be like, hey, humans made this, and you know, thanks to their hard work, whatever, we're all having fun, and this is something we can, you know, point to and be like, this was a piece of art, you know, made by people. So yeah, I'm against it, but I'm not surprised by it. Let me know what you think. Are you a fan of AI? Are you not a fan of AI? If you know more about like how AI is being used in a positive way, please let me know down below. But again, I think overall, just because of, you know, the 1% that controls the world or whatever, I think that AI is ultimately going to be a bad thing. But I don't know, maybe that's the glass half full. Again, let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like this video, and if you made it this far, thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe. Peace.